Hello, we're out in the pasture here today with the Heeler, which is our portable corral, and we're going to do a walkthrough instructional video for you. So we'll start talking about our hydraulic jacking system. This unit sits on the ground, it doesn't remain on its wheels, and it's raised and lowered with hydraulic jacks, front and back, independently. So you can see this box up here. This is the same box system that we have on our other portable units, and it's been upgraded to a 12-volt hydraulic power unit. And so what we have on top, we have a solar panel to help maintain your battery. We have negative and positive leads that come to the outside of the box for easy charging. However, the lid is, there's a quick latch and the lid can be lifted up. You have easy access to the inside. And then you have a 4-button pendant so that you don't need a selector valve. You can run the front and back, and you can run the back and the front independently with these 4 buttons. And so at the back we have 2 jacks, one on either side, and on the front we have 1 jack in the center of the gooseneck hitch. So now we're going to start the process of unfolding the panels to make your pen. So the first thing you have to do is take this yellow bar, which we call the safety bar, and you need to remove it. The purpose of this is for in transport, if your straps happen to break, it won't swing out onto oncoming traffic and injure someone. So I gotta just go to the other side because this thing here flips in and sticks in there like that, like a storage pocket, and you need to store it, and then you can pull it out from the one side. So that profile is now tucked away, it should just pull out. So now at the back here, we have a storage pocket to store it. Okay, so that step's done. Now the next step is just to release your straps. Okay, so now you're ready to start the process of swinging out your pen. So you just come to your first set of panels, 3, and you come to the end, and we've got these worm gear winches here. Now they don't have to be used, but we wanted to add them as an option in case your ground is quite soft and you got a smaller person trying to unfold. You can crank it up and you can take quite a bit of weight off of there, and it makes it significantly easier to roll out. So that's your first section rolled out. And you'll notice here there's chains on each end, and what that's for is when you're swinging this out, if you don't put a chain there, this set of panels can start creeping out on you, and you end up partially dragging that wheel, and it makes it a lot more difficult to roll. So you just quickly connect those panels together just to make a complete unit. So next, roll your next section out. That's that. And then your third and final panel of your first section. Undo your chain and just roll. So there, that side's out. Now we'll do the last set of the one side. Now I want to make a point here that this unit has a BUDBOX to make it easier to make really nice flow into your alley. So the BUDBOX can be set up on either side. Each side is identical, but the side that you're going to set up your BUDBOX, try to make a point of not winging this panel out too far past 90 degrees. You should keep it roughly within 90 to 100 degrees. It's not super critical, but just a point I'd like to make there. So your next unit, undo your chain, which keeps it together as a unit. And you can see this one, I'm gonna make a point of it. So this one's not connected. So you can see what happens. It starts to wander away and you end up just dragging that wheel. So just by keeping this together, just makes life a little bit easier for yourself. So there's your pen there on the one side, just connected with your chain latch. There's a chain latch on both sides, and there you have it. So there's a couple of things. We have storage pockets here, and you'll see these black tubes. That's what carries your panels, and you've got room for storage of extra panels. Right now all we have is a bow gate and a 10-foot panel. So the first thing you do is you need to remove your black storage bars for your panels. There's pins with R-clips on each end of them. So I've removed my pins. Just pull my black panel carrier bars out. And then if you go through your man gate, there's a storage pocket right here where I've got my yellow safety bar, and there's one on each side. Okay, so now we just release the straps. So there's panel clips almost immediately beside this hinge on this gate. Uses the same connection on all of our systems that we build. So now we just have to hook up our bow gate. So I just want to make a point of it while like holding on to this swing gate. So this swing gate, it has a slam latch, slam it shut, and it also has a drop pin in case it's you're on a slope or uneven ground or maybe even a windy day. That can keep your gate from swinging, especially on the other side. If you're just in the wide open and you're trying to sort cattle. Comes in handy sometimes. So for our bow gate, this is where it's stored on either side, right at the front, and you have profiles with hooks on each end that we'll show later with pictures, and that's where your hooks go on your straps. And this end just sits on the main frame, a cross member in the main frame, and this one panel clip ties in with your rails. So there your bud box is set up. You got your bow gate with the slam latch. And so how it works is it's just like any other BUDBOX, however smaller dimensions, but you still get a very similar effect. So when this pen is set up, you just wing out your swing gate, bring your bunches of cattle in, probably 4 at a time. If you get it too full, it doesn't work as good. And because they got lots of room, they come in readily. Every first panel on every corner has a man gate, and the gooseneck is made so that you can walk nicely underneath it. So once your cattle enter that BUDBOX, you slam your swing gate shut, you come on this side, and you just work your flight zones like you would in a BUDBOX, and then you got easy access to the pen, and you can shut your swing gate behind them. So we're standing inside the Heeler now, and we're looking down the alleyways to the rolling doors, and this is the way that the cattle flow, obviously. So this unit can be used a few different ways. So you can use it as a double alley if you want. If you want to just get high throughput and say you're just backlining cattle and you're just pushing them through out the other end and so on, you can use a double alley. But if you have a chute hooked up or you're actually working cattle, then you're probably going to want to latch it to the side. This here is our diversion gate, and it can be latched center, this side or that side. So we'll leave it latched there. So what would happen, the cattle come out of your BUDBOX, funnel into your alley, down your alley, and then on the end here you got panel clips, and you got the ability to hook up chutes or alleys to either side. So if you were hooked up a chute to this side, say you hooked up a left-handed chute to this side and you're working here, then you got the ability to come up this side, and now this area here is a cattle-free zone. So that's how our alley works. And you can see that we have 2 alleys like we mentioned. We have panel clip connections on all points, so it gives you the ability to hook up a loading ramp, alley, chute on either alley, and both alleys finish off with our rolling doors. And this is your safety latch for transport. Very seldom needed when you're working cattle, mainly used just for transport so your doors don't ride open on you. And like I said before, I'll put both rolling doors open, and in this scenario where you say you had a chute hooked up on this side, you've got the ability to walk right up your alley and using this side as a cattle-free zone. This gate preventing the cattle from entering this side of the alley. We made these rolling doors consistent with a lot of our other products in the sense that they're 3E, easy entry exit, and that's we've got these rectangular holes spaced up from their vision, where their cattle's vision are, and that's just to give them some that bit of extra light to help and encourage the flow into the alley. Unit is also wired with a 7-pin connector, and it's got running lights, brake lights, and turning signals. However, it does not have brakes, so please exercise caution when you're towing this down the road. Back of the Heeler here in the center at the base, we have a receiver for a hitch so that you can tow another unit behind this when you're going out to the pasture, whether it's a chute or a loading ramp or 878 or whatever you want. So the first thing we'll do is we'll take down our BUDBOX, and in doing that, the first thing you want to do is store your panel in the alley. That's the first step. So we'll remove my panel pins. Disconnect my panel. Just swing your swing gate out of the road and put it into the alley. And these panels just sit straight on the ground, and you put your panel carriers underneath, and then when you lift up your unit with the hydraulic jacks, it just lifts the panels off the ground. So we'll go to our storage pocket, get our black panel carriers, slide them into our pockets, like such. Then you got to put in your pins and your R-clips. I'm not putting in my R-clips right now just for sake of speed and video purposes. Okay, the last step that you have to do before that's complete is you gotta put your straps on to keep everything nice and snug during transport, so things aren't vibrating and jiggling all around. So you take your green straps, you hook one end on the top of the panel clip, bring the other end around to the other side of the alley, around the rail, hook it onto the bottom, and then just tighten up. Okay, that's complete. Now we'll store our bow gate. Disconnect your final end. And the latch end goes to the opposite side of the front of the unit. So that end, as we said, rests on that cross member. This side just swings around and saddles, the panel clip saddles a rail. So hook your strap into the profile on that end, profile on the other end, and winch it up tight. Okay, so that's complete. Shut your swing gate. Now we can start folding up our pen. So it's important that you fold up the proper side first, and the way you know that is where these panels are connected to the unit on these big hinge points. The hinge that's narrowest, that's your first panel. So you fold it up first. Like we said before, keep these units connected together. Just makes it a lot easier when you're wheeling it. Those panels don't drift apart. Next set. Connect together. And finally, all three into the side of the unit. That. Now the next set, just repeat. Next step is to take your straps. Your winch goes on top, connects to that profile. Underneath there's another profile that the other end connects to. Okay, the last thing we have to do is to put on our, put in our safety bar. And like I said before, that's just a safety for when you're traveling down the road. Should the strap break, it won't swing out into oncoming traffic. Now we can, we'll show a close-up picture, but there's top engraved into this bar so you know which way to put it. So just go to your other side and stand that profile up. And that's it, it's complete. The unit is all packaged up now and we'll get it ready for transport. So the first thing you do is you take your 4-button pendant out of the storage pocket. We've already spoken about this before, but it has front and rear jacks right on the buttons. And you wanna, if it's flat on the ground, you wanna lift your rear of the unit up first. So that's what we'll do. Just take your wheels and they just slide right into this pocket right here, and then you drop your pin and your R-clip in once the wheel's into the receiver. Do the other side. Okay, your wheels are in. Now your next step is to retract your jacks all the way up. Okay, jacks are fully retracted. I just want to point out one thing. Over time, if these jacks get out of sync a little bit, That's why you notice at the end there, my jacks are out of sync about that much. I deadheaded it. You just press on that button and that jack will resync itself to you, and now they're perfectly back in sync. So now we just lift up the front. You want to lift it up high enough, obviously, so that it's above your ball, and then you just back your pickup underneath and make sure put your tailgate down. Okay, we'll try that. Okay, the ball's connected to the ball. Now just the next step is fully retract your jack. We've got the gooseneck hitch connected to the 5th wheel ball, 2 5/16, and we have taken our cable off our little storage pocket up there. It's a 7-pin connector for your trailer wiring. Just connect it, and then you take your safety chains and connect them to the truck. And very important, you got your safety pin that keeps your gooseneck from ever coming off the ball. Make sure that it's put in its proper location and linch pin put on. And that's it. Let's go work some more cows. Well, thanks everyone for watching this instructional video of our Heeler. We hope this was helpful for you, and if you have any further questions, I'm sure the salesman or client care will be more than willing to help you out. Thank you very much.